Hey, what's up guys, it's Gage from ARG, and today let's talk about all these Breakers of Shadows extra early leaks that we've had leaked by somebody in the community. Man, somebody just must really love us. So what we have is a whole bunch of TCG exclusive and I think one import leak we've had. So it's not actually just rarity leaks, it's actually stuff that we've never seen before, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys today. So there's a lot to go over, so I'm not going to spare the time with the introductions anymore. We're just going to get right into it. Most of the support is Cosmo support, so just kind of bear that in mind. So we have the first card actually on the screen here, been on here for a while, is Cosmo, which is a secret rare trap card in the set, and its effect reads: target one Cosmo monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, banish one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. You can only activate one Cosmojo per turn. So the way I see this kind of card is it's a replacement for that of a card like Generation Shift or Offerings to the Tribute. Now, those cards would normally kind of focus on destroying your big ships to then do something and then special summon another ship to just apply more pressure, apply more damage to the opponent. Now, Generation Shift was a trap card that it would destroy your own monster and then you add another copy of it back to your hand from your deck. But that wasn't really played. And then Offerings of the Tribute was played for a very short time, which I'm actually not even completely positive what that card really did. All I know is that it popped your ship, did something, and then it special summoned another copy from the deck. So that was something that generally was an idea in the Cosmo deck, but it wasn't really applied too much. But the only thing I really don't like about this card is its effect is amazing, being able to banish a card, in your opponent's graveyard or your hand for disruption purposes. So that's where I kind of see it kind of tying into, is more disruptive, where since it's a trap card, you will have it set, and then you'll have a ship on your field, and then during your opponent's turn when they want to do something, you can flip Cosmojo, pop a big ship, then special summon another ship, and then banish one of their cards as well. So it gets around outs that your opponent may have originally, and it also kind of just applies the pressure with banishing and special summoning another ship for them to get around. So do I like this card as much? Not really. If you want to use it more aggressively, there's just better options, or I just don't play it at all, really, because I don't think the strategy was really applied too much in the deck, because we'd be seeing Generation Shift as well as Offerings to the Tribute a lot more often if the strategy was actually really there. But this is just something, I guess, an option. I'd see it as maybe a one of or a two of. I don't really see the card as reliable as people may think it is. I kind of just see it as, hey, it's a card that's now archetype specific, and you don't have to play those Generation Shifts or those Offerings to the Tribute. Nevertheless, I do like the artwork of the card, and I do think the card has some potential. Will it be played in every Cosmo deck? I'm not sure, and I'm going to say probably not. I kind of find it weird that it's a secret rare, too. Maybe that's just me. But there's a lot more to go over, so let's go to the next one here. The next one is actually just the import leak that I was talking about, and it's Performapal Pendulum Wizard is in the set as a secret rare. It may not look like a secret rare. Some people are like, oh, it's an ultra rare. But no, that is clearly a secret rare. There's another picture somewhere floating around the community. It's absolutely a secret rare in the set. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, if Adrian wasn't going to be a really disgusting card in the Pepe deck coming out in BOSH, because there was no way to really destroy it from the field when you special summon it, but now that we have Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer, I mean, like, what's the point? The deck's going to be absolutely busted, tier 0. People are already kind of just in reels in the community saying it's going to be another tier 0 deck format. We haven't had one in a while, and I can definitely see with Sorcerer coming out, it's going to be pretty disgusting. And Adrian being able to go plus 10 in a certain single turn, it's not fair. So I don't know. I definitely feel I'm happy about this personally, because I do like the Pendulum deck, but I know a lot of people are upset about this. And yeah, we're getting Pendulum Sorcerer, so it is what it is. So that's pretty interesting there. Nothing really too much to talk about there, because there's a lot more that we haven't seen, like Cosmo War Trippers, which I can assume from looking at the pictures it's a super rare. It looks like a common just looking at it originally, but looking at the bottom, like right here, you can see a little bit of a glow, so I'm assuming it's super rare. It's a psychic effect. During either player's turn, you can banish this card, special summon one level 4 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Sword Troopers once per turn, and then once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points, then target one psychic type Cosmo monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So you can take a psychic type monsters, which I believe that kind of encompasses Farm Girl as well as Straw Man, as well as the new fella Tin Man, and also I think Good Witch and Wicked Witch are also in there too. So any of the level 4 little dudes you can bring back with Sword Troopers. How good is that? I don't really know. I don't think it makes makes a level 3 really worth playing. Also, kind of just from experience, we don't really see Cosmos hitting the graveyard as much because their effects just genuinely banish them to special summon the bigger trips. So the banish zone is kind of the hot spot for all your Cosmo cards. If they hit the graveyard, something went wrong. So this is kind of a reset button from there, I guess. But normally it doesn't go wrong enough to really it be really relevant. And of course we have Cosmo Town already filling the role of getting things back from the banish zone, which again we said was the hot spot. That's where they're ending up most of the time anyways. So it is what it is. I'm not really too happy about it. I think this card's just mediocre for what it is. There is one other card that's been leaked that kind of synergizes with it pretty well, but I just don't think it's worth playing both of them, to be honest, for it to really be that fantastic. But it is what it is. I do feel like there's just better ones like Strawman as well as Farm Girl are good enough on their own. Getting them back with Cosmo Town's already good enough. So Sword Troopers, besides the artwork, it is what it is. So we have more, which is the Delta Shuttle. This is absolutely a common. Excuse me. And it being a common, I guess it kind of deserves to be that. It's not really that great. Once per turn, you can send one Cosmo monster from your deck to the graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field. It loses attack and defense equal to the set monster's level times 100. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and special summon one level 4 or lower Cosmo from the deck. This is definitely very mediocre. It does synergize pretty well with the Sword Troopers, I suppose you could say, in the sense where you could send a Farm Girl, send a Good Witch or whatever from your deck to the graveyard, and then special summon it off of Sword Troopers. But aside from that, you don't really want to send a big ship like a Dark Destroyer from your deck to the graveyard, because the ships have to be destroyed to get their effects, especially from someone from the deck. So there's no synergy really from there where you could just send a Dark Destroyer and then, get a free Forerunner out of the deck. That just doesn't happen. So this card here is kind of mediocre. I mean, minusing 800 is not... It's not something to laugh about, really. 800 is quite a bit of damage to kind of take off of a monster or make it lower, but it's just not enough for this card to really be good. And it's you pick from Delta Shuttle or you pick from Slip Rider, and then 9 times out of 10, Slip Rider is just a better card because it's just a better level 5 being able to get Pop a Spell Trap card, which that's pretty good. This one I don't really see doing as much. And of course, we already went over how mediocre Sword Troopers is, so I don't see Sword Troopers and the Delta Shuttle kind of synergy as enough to really get the deck going. So I don't really like Delta Shuttle as much. I know some people kind of think it's okay, but I don't really see it that great. Moving on, we have Cosmo Tin Can, which is the one I'm actually more excited about. I do like the fact that it's like the level 1 of the deck, and I do love the artwork of it, being a little Tin Man. So we have, during either player's turn, you can banish this card, special summon one level 2 or higher from your hand. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can only use this effect of the Tin Can once per turn, and then once per turn, during the end phase, you can pay 500 life points, reveal 3 Cosmo cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one and adds it to your hand, and you send the rest to the graveyard. So this effect is actually kind of like a painful choice effect, if you will. It's kind of how I've seen it. But the thing is with it, I feel like it's kind of slow compared to the rest of the Cosmo archetype being really aggressive, just being able to push massive amounts of damage on the board. I think that's kind of what the deck is been kind of playing as right now. But having Tin Can there, the fact that it has to wait until the end phase to be able to use its effect makes it sorely reliant on the fact that it's disruption, because you have to be able to get a big ship like Dark Destroyer to hand, which is a 33% get it, by the way. And if you do get it to hand, cool, it's great. You get to banish it during your opponent's turn, special summon Dark Destroyer, stop the play. But if you get the other 66% chance of not getting the Dark Destroyer or something that can potentially disrupt your opponent's plays, you get a really mediocre card that kind of, I guess, just gets a big ship on the field during your opponent's turn too. So you're missing out on a whole bunch of damage, and at the cost of a normal summon, I just don't think that's worth it. I just think there's plenty of other cards that are way better than normal summon. Strawman's a way better normal summon. Farm Girl's a way better normal summon. And 9 times out of 10, even if you're going turn 1, I still don't think Tin Man's just the way to go. Now, outside of turn 1, Tin Man's bad. But turn 1, I think Tin Man is probably just like one of the best plays you can probably do. I guess that's kind of the way we can view it from there, because being able to get something out on your first turn without relying on the fact that you have to attack your opponent or already have something in the mana zone is pretty cool. But other than that, I just see Tin Can it's kind of cool. I do like it a lot. I like the effect. I think it's pretty fun. But having the fact that we can't reveal 3 of the same Cosmo card to rely on to get a guaranteed Dark Destroyer to hand or something, it kind of brings it down a little bit. It makes it a little slow, if you will. And in a fast-paced deck like Cosmo, I don't think there's any room for it to be slow. The last card we kind of have to go over is Cosmo Dark Eclipser. This one is, I believe it's a secret rare, as you can see from the, I don't know if you guys can see it from your, but I see a little bit of the parallel rare from there. A lot of people might say it's a rare, but hey, I'm not even sure yet. But regardless of what it is, let's read it. It's a machine effect, level 9, cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effects. During either player's turn, when a trap card is activated, you can banish 1 Cosmo monster from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish the card from your graveyard, add 1 level 8 or lower Cosmo monster from your deck to your hand. Okay. So now we have the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have the entire pretty much spectrum of Cosmo archetype really to go there. But the thing about the Dark Eclipser here, while it is pretty neat where it gets around cards such as like the Storming Mirror Force, which was originally thought to be an out to all the big ships that couldn't be targeted by effects originally, like Forerunner Plus, this kind of is really not that great. Having the same base stats pretty much as a Dark Destroyer, defense doesn't really matter too much. The 3000 baseline of stack was already good, but now we have a card that's just significantly worse in the sense where if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, we can banish it to add a Dark Destroyer to hand, not special summon 1 from deck to add it to hand. Now, in a lot of people's eyes, that may not be significantly terrible since the ships are pretty genuinely easy to get out, but just in comparison to all the other big ships we had, this one, that's a step backwards from what we've had. Dark Destroyer immediately being able to remove advantage from your opponent, to Forerunner just being something that helps you gain life points, which you're going to be spending pretty all the time, really. And then we move to Dark Eclipser, which is something that stops trap cards, which we don't really see too many trap cards right now as is anyways. So it's like Dark Eclipser just kind of, I don't think there was enough thought put into it. It could have been something absolutely fantastic. From its base stat line, it could have went up way much, but it's just like there's so much that kind of got lost in the shuffle with this card, and I feel like it just suffered so much for it. So Dark Eclipser, I feel like maybe it's like a 1 of, maybe a 2 of, I'm seeing a 1 of, maybe a 0 of even, I don't even know. I just don't think it's up to par with the other ships we've had, the other big ships at least. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of all this stuff all these leaks we've gotten so early. I don't think we're not getting Breakers of Shadows until middle of next month, and it's already going to be a fantastic set as is, as all the other leaks we've seen, from Pendulum Wizard just pretty much wrapping it up from there, and then we've had all these Cosmo leaks too. What do you guys think of the set? Do you think all this Cosmo support's actually going to help bring the deck up from where it is now, where people are already kind of saying, they're raging, oh, it's bad, but I don't know, does it have potential, or I want to hear what you guys think. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of all this Cosmo support, all these new leaks and everything, and of Breakers of Shadows in general, because I'm genuinely excited for the set. I haven't been excited to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In a very, very long time. But yeah, if you guys want to buy or sell product, if you want to attend events, and if you want to read articles from the top to top players, AlterAdaGames.com is a place to go check out. Be sure to like our Facebook fan page and subscribe to our Twitch stream if you haven't already. But as always, I thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Gage from ARG, signing out.